Alright, Landers, so today we are jumping into the Nightmare edition of the Amelia No Affiliation Go Quiz. In this case, they showcase the brand new 1000-year Blood War OH-ETSU. Luckily, if you haven't already seen it, I did pull the character yesterday, and now we get to demonstrate him on my main account. I am also going to try out some other characters, because of course, this Nightmare GQ has been quite controversial due to the fact that the enemies do have poise. Now, from my testing yesterday, it seems like the only final two bosses have poise. So in this case, Jinta and also Ginsu. For the most part, you don't even notice it, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. However, I don't like the idea of it, and given the fact that you don't even notice it, it might as well not even be there. I just feel like it's so pointless. It doesn't make OH-ETSU better. It doesn't make any other characters worse. If anything, it's just a tad bit annoying because occasionally your normal attack damage characters like Soifon, for example, might take some damage. Either way though, for today's team, we are going to be using the potential best team that you can use right now for OH-ETSU to get the most out of this powerful character. What you're going to notice with this character, his damage output is super consistent, and that's what's best part about him, is that he's actually better than Yuha. Can you believe it? Yuha is also capable of getting some very fast clear times, but he is reliant on inflicting stat elements. OH-ETSU just doesn't care about that, and that's the best part about him. So the way we are going to be building him today is a fortification pill, a T-set, and also no affiliation killer sticker. And then with that, we're going with a mixture of recharge, strong attack damage, and also more strong attack damage when at full stamina. And of course, because I only just pulled the character, he's only special move level 1, SP level 10 with full stamina, and also SP as bonus abilities. Our second character, and one of the best characters to use alongside OH-ETSU, is going to be, surprisingly, this Shuhei. He is here to contribute to nothing besides the fact that he is going to give OH-ETSU 20% more strong attack damage, given the fact that OH-ETSU is a speed attribute Soripa. And since this team buff is specifically targeting speed attribute Soripas and not the speed attribute as a whole, that therefore means it does stack with Mugetsu's team buff, giving us an additional 20% strong attack damage. So from this character alone, with the Mugetsu link, we are getting 40% additional strong attack damage, and OH-ETSU, already doing insane damage as is now doing even more damage. And again, to go alongside that too, we might as well use Soifon. She can do normal attack damage herself. And then also, most importantly, she can give the team a team boost, giving us a 33% attack, focus, and defense increase, but also providing us with barriers to potentially stay at full stamina in the case the last two bosses do actually use an attack. For this team to work, it has to be these two characters, Shuhei and also OH-ETSU. In the case for Soifon, she is replaceable with 1000-year Blood War Byakuya and potentially any other team booster. But the benefit here is that Soifon will be doing consistent damage. She can potentially ruin the run if she does inflict a stat element, but we can just reset the run if that does happen. Also, my Soifon's 5-5, but for the most part, it really doesn't matter. Alright then, so let's see how this does go. So I don't really know the map layout for this, but I do know we can actually get a very fast clear time. So let's use our SA1, our SA2, use our few normal attacks, then SA3. Unfortunately, we actually did inflict the stat element there, but I also most importantly missed the strong attack. Might as well use our EX attack just to get that out of the way. The EX does actually build the gauge too, so that's actually really good. In this case, our gauge is already back. We just have to use one more strong attack. Like that, for example. Might as well Soul Bomb. Then use Jinta, SA1. Use our normal attack when we can to build up the gauge. SA2 there. Kind of made a mistake. That's fine, though. We just have to use one more strong attack. Let's back up. This is kind of a bad run, I will be honest. But it just goes to show how simple the runs actually are, right? So that was our very first attempt. Still warming up, but that's fine. Let's do that once more and see if we can get closer to 40 seconds. So I feel like using my SA2 first and foremost is the best thing to do here. So let's go forwards, SA2, then 3, and then we activate the gauge with the SA1. And that way our SA3 comes back right in time for the second boss. There we go. Might as well use our normal attacks when we can. SA2, 1. I missed my 1. Kind of unfortunate there. In this case, we'll activate the gauge with the SA3. Might as well Soul Bomb now, I guess. Someone does do a pretty good amount of damage too. And then in this case, let's just back up. Activate the gauge again. SA3. Tad bit faster in that case, 34. I feel like the first 3 bosses were actually pretty good, and then we kind of fell off a bit near the end. But it is still quite crazy considering that we are doing Nightmare GQ, using a character that can't inflict any stat wounds, and look at the clear time again, 34 seconds at 1.5. Honestly, not too bad, but we can definitely get higher. I'll tell you that for now. I'll take that for now. I'm going to go back to using 2 normal attack damage characters. I feel like if the character was 2-5, it's a very easy 42-second run maybe. But we did get a tad bit faster there. But I think a more traditional way, probably the way you want to beat it with Oetsu, is just by using 2 normal attack damage characters. And that way what we're going to do here is take off Shuhei and then put in Wonder Weiss, right? Wonder Weiss is a really good character. He was recently available on the anniversary banner. And lucky for us, mine does access to some really good links, so we can go with this free right here. That's going to be really good. Wonder Weiss, for the record, by the way, is 2-5, level 10 attack, level 10 focus, full stamina, and also attack. Very similar to Soifon. But now with Soifon, what we are going to do is take off this soul trait and give her the Mugetsu soul trait. That way she can still get the extra bit of stats, but also most importantly boost our Oetsu. 20% sad, we're definitely going to need it. There we go. SA2 into the 3. SA1. Using an extra strong attack isn't too bad, to be honest. Hopefully that kills all the mobs. There's always one enemy that stays alive. Decent here. All attacks are coming back. 39. I think I'll take that for now. I'm going to reset my own time and try and get a bit better, because we definitely can get higher than 39. But that's very close to 40. What I want to do now is try out some other characters, other teams that we can use here. Again, the main takeaway when it comes to Oetsu and Jiku is, like, the lack of stat elements really don't matter. Soifon can ruin it if she does inflict the stat element. That's why maybe having Byakuya might be a tad bit more ideal now for that burst damage. But the runs are fairly simple. Resetting Oetsu is actually a bit more fun, because I don't have to rely on inflicting a stat element. Most of the runs, especially with a team like this where we are using 2 normal attack damage characters, the only RNG moment is whether they decide to use their normal attacks or not, and whether they decide to instantly attack the boss. If they do, we can get significantly faster. And it's nice to know with Oetsu, that's the only thing I kind of have to rely on, right? With Yuha, it would be that and also inflicting stat elements. And I'm not even here to slight Yuha. He's still an amazing character. We'll have to actually demonstrate that now. So we're going to use the exact same team. The difference now is that we are, of course, going to use Yuha. And you'll notice that the poised enemies themselves really don't hold much of an issue. If you do see that your teammates are taking hits or dying, in that case, you're going to need to improvise and bring a team booster. Again, Orihime is always a good character you can bring, right? When in doubt, use Maid Orihime. That is why we consider her one of the best supports in the entire game. So this is how we are going to set up Yuha when it comes to his accessories. When it comes to his soul traits, let's just go with these 3 soul traits. Nicely, easily done. He is special level 2, so SP level 10, focus level 10, with full stamina and also SP as bonus abilities. And when using Yuha, it's going to be very simple. Let's use our SA2, and there we go. We got a stars proc. So we actually do a lot of damage. That's one thing, right? Because I kind of been downplaying Yuha with his status elements. The benefit with Yuha here, and any character that can inflict status elements, and why it's still obviously good, right, is that weakening goes to everyone. Like, we're getting really lucky with status procs. This is going really well. So let's summon now. Damn. All right, here we go. That's SA1. It might get a bit messy here. SA2. SA1. Funny enough, that was a really good... For the record, by the way, that was my first run. Earlier last stream, I was trying to do that, and we were barely getting anything close to 39. I was more likely getting 30 seconds, but funny enough, there you go. Like, you are still good, right? You don't have to summon for Oetsu. You are still that guy. Granted, my Oetsu is 1-5, Yuha's 2-5, but this is also why I didn't really want to summon for Oetsu, because I needed him for the most part, because Yuha is still an amazing character, right? I just wanted Oetsu because I wanted to reset less, but I also wanted the character. He's actually really fun. So yeah, funny situation. I'm actually glad we got that on camera, that I was able to get a good run without resetting. I think we got really lucky there, because I spent like an hour on the stream last time and we weren't getting close to 39. But you are still obviously a good leader. What you can do if you don't own Oetsu or Yuha Bark is, of course, white. In this case, the build is going to be the exact same. My white's max transcended, but we're going to clear with like 35, 40 seconds left anyway. So if your white is 1-5, that's going to be good enough as is, right? The benefit with him actually is that because he can inflict lacerate, it actually stops the enemies from attacking you. The boss is more so. So if you do inflict lacerate on the 4th and 5th boss, you don't even notice the poise because they can't attack you anyway. So let's see how white performs, right? He should be perform relatively well for the most part. Already got a stat as it, you'll have to see it. Might as well let my normal attack damage characters finish up there. This boss we're going to basically almost one-shot. Not too bad. I think we want to save our summon for the 4th boss. It'd be nice if Soifun can get a status summon here. SA2. This is where we're going to use our Soul Bomb. That's also going to reapply the SP boost too. And again, you'll notice Jinta really can't attack us, right? So you don't even notice the poise. Now we just got to get a status broken Gin. I believe someone got a status summon. Yes, sir. It was Soifun, not me. But that still stops the enemy in place. Let's use our 3 and then finish up with the 2. So we got 25 seconds remaining. If that was a 1-5-2-5 Yuha, if that was a 1-5 or 2-5 White, you would probably have about... I'd definitely be pushing it. Maybe close to like 5 seconds, 7 seconds remaining. I would definitely say if you have the option to use Oetsu, Yuha Bark, or White, I would more so recommend Oetsu and also Yuha. While we're at it, in terms of replacements, again, I already mentioned that Soifun is replaceable with any team booster, Orihime, Neliel, for example, also Byakuya. Wonderwise is going to be your main normal attack damage dealing character. He has the highest damage output for all melee no affiliation killers. When it comes to normal attack damage characters, and I assume, as seen here, he is the most used auto-played character. Everyone should have him if you pulled on the banner. On the anniversary banner, but his replacements would be this Yami here and also this technical Kisuke. They're the 2 other normal attack damage characters that you would use here. Worst case scenario, I guess, would be White Ichigo, but he's quite old. Damage output isn't the highest. What we're going to go ahead and do now for our last couple tickets is go back to Oetsu. So again, let's go back to our original team that we were using, in this case, doing the very hard difficulty, because Nightmare isn't always going to be here, right? So I kind of want to see how he does perform in the very hard difficulty, the difficulty that we're usually doing whenever a new character doesn't come out. So we're just going back to the same setup, right? Soifun's going to be our team booster, and now we are using Shuhei once more with the Mugetsu Soul Trait. In this case, we should, for the most part, like, maybe 1-shot, 2-shot every boss. And again, this is going to be a 1 out of 5, right? So I'm very curious to see how this is going to be. All right, then. So let's see what damage numbers we are looking at here. SA2 into the 3. And then finish up with the 1. First boss goes down, gauge is activated, and it looks like in this case we're actually 2-shotting the boss. That's kind of crazy. I guess let's Soul Bomb now. Can we use our EX? Okay, that works. SA3. Oh my. This is crazy. And then SA2 and 1. First attempt, 49 seconds remaining. And that's easy too. That is very easy. I don't even know if I did like the correct placements there, but for the most part, when Very Hard does come back, no affiliation, if you want to go for a fast clear time and you want to do it maybe in a less attempts more so, if you care about high GQ scores, Oetsu is going to be the character for that, because that recharge in between stages, you know, with the gauge and stuff like that, because that cooldown, when you're waiting for the next wave, alongside the fact that the gauge is constantly lapping itself, is just giving you so much damage, and also, most importantly, letting you almost 1-shot, 2-shot the boss, which is kind of crazy to think about. So, definitely looking forward to trying out Oetsu in Very Hard once more when this GQ does come back. So, what else, lads? That was the video for today, trying out the new 1000-Year Blood War Oetsu in Nightmare GQ with poised enemies. Again, like I said at the start of the video, it's kind of just pointless. Like, it didn't really contribute to anything. It didn't make the quest harder. You don't even really notice it, at least in my teams where we can't just brute force our way through it. I didn't think it was that big of a deal they decided that I'd poison this quest, but I definitely don't like it. Mainly due to the fact that currently right now it's not that big of a deal, but in the future, if they continue to do this, depending on the GQ, that can be like super toxic. So I hope we don't see this more in the future, but I didn't really personally mind it all too much. But yeah, Oetsu performed very well. Definitely don't regret doing some summons for him. He's honestly a fun character, and I don't mind using him in GQ, but give him a round of applause for being as good as he is, considering that he can't inflict status summons. Because there's a reason why we don't use characters like 1000-Year Blood War, you know, Concord Ichigo, because his damage output just isn't cutting it when you can't inflict status summons. Oetsu right now is kind of going against the curve. He's the exception in the meta, and I think that's actually really cool. Would love to see more characters like him, but at the same time, as expected, this character existing does not invalidate already good characters, like, for example, Yuha. You are still a great character. If you have him, definitely continue using him in the Nightmare GQ. He is going to be enough to get you through this quest. With that said, we'll be back on Thursday for the Nightmare Ranged Super Guild quest, and as expected, Burn the Witch characters will be returning in anticipation for this quest, because the idea is that they do want you to use Halloween Noel. Either way, let me know what teams and characters you like to choose, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.